Xabi Alonso leaves Real Madrid with immediate effect. It's over between Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid.
It hasn't even been 24 hours since the Supercopa final and Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid have decided to part ways. I mean, what is going on? I'm not gonna sit here and act surprised because in my video that I dropped yesterday, I kind of talked about the whole, Supercopa final and how things were sitting with Real Madrid. At the end of the video, I talked briefly about what Xabi Alonso needs to do going forward, and I was talking about him even being sacked, and it literally happened not even 24 hours. So I think that this was the right move by Real Madrid, not necessarily because Xabi Alonso, he hasn't even been coaching the team for more than a season, not even a season yet, and this guy, he's still pretty new. It's just wild in football now how quick managers are being, leaving clubs, how quick they're being sacked. I mean, you guys just saw Enzo Maresca with Chelsea, you saw Ruben Amorim with Manchester United, and now Xabi Alonso is deciding to part ways with Real Madrid. I mean, this is mutual, but I don't really think that this is a mutual, agreement. And we all know that Florentino, if he's not happy, if things aren't going his way, he's so quick to make impulsive or hasty decisions, and I think that's exactly what happened. And on top of that, a lot of reports were coming out, especially from The Athletic yesterday, talking about all the Real Madrid players not being happy, aren't pleasant after the Supercopa results. And I also think that played a large reason in Xabi Alonso, parting ways with Real Madrid. And the fact that they're bringing a new manager already so quick after Xabi Alonso, Álvaro Arbeloa, and he has no history, managing or coaching in the big league. He's only coached Real Madrid's youth teams, which is it's honestly wild. You would think like a club like Real Madrid with such high caliber, with such high respect, they would, bring in a manager at least that has experience, that has history, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. This is just odd. And all over Twitter, people that support Real Madrid, people that call themselves Madristas, it's just been a lot of mixed emotions. I mean, some people are happy that Xabi Alonso is gone, and then you have others that are just so disappointed by this. And there was a situation yesterday where, Real Madrid were trying to give Barcelona a guard of honor after the game, and Mbappe, he was basically telling the whole Real Madrid team to walk off, don't give him a guard of honor. But Xabi Alonso, he wanted Madrid to give Barcelona a guard of honor, and he felt that his authority was undermined by Kylian Mbappe, and Kylian Mbappe honestly has just been messing up that locker room. And yeah, after that whole situation happened, then Xabi Alonso suddenly, parts ways with Real Madrid. I mean, something is definitely not right. But let's be honest, Xabi Alonso has not had the best of relationships with players at Real Madrid. For instance, we have Vinicius Jr., Brahim Diaz, Jude Bellingham, Valverde. I mean, they all had issues. So with that being said, I feel like with Xabi Alonso, there was a lot of situations at Madrid that we as, football fans were not familiar with. And it's all starting to come to light now, and it's all starting to make sense like a puzzle. Also, one of the players that I did forget to highlight that did have one of the biggest issues with Xabi Alonso was Rodrigo. And Rodrigo, before Xabi Alonso, I mean, on that Real Madrid team, he was dangerous. But as we all seen, after Xabi Alonso came along and as he became the manager / coach of Real Madrid, I mean, we rarely got to see Rodrigo play. So yeah, I mean, there was just a lot going on. But as I'm gonna keep repeating, as I'm gonna keep mentioning, I feel like Mbappe did have something to do with this, because even if you look at Mbappe's message that he had about Xabi Alonso leaving, it just felt like a big PR stunt, because this is all he had to say. It's been short, but it was a pleasure to play for you and learn from you. Thank you for giving me the confidence since day one. I mean, is that all he had to say? And the fact that Xabi Alonso was, showing signs of starting Gonzalo Garcia over Mbappe, I really think that something sketchy was going on behind the scenes. I feel like Mbappe was just not pleased. And as I'm looking at these reports, I mean, this one stood out to me in particular. It basically said that Xabi Alonso was said to be exhausted by egos and a growing lack of respect inside of the dressing room, which intensified this week and also felt a lack of backing from the club in recent months. Like I said, it's all starting to fit like one big puzzle. It's all starting to make sense. And a lot of people on Twitter seem to agree with me, because this user Collins LFC said that no manager in the world should have endured what Mbappe did to Xabi Alonso after the Barcelona game. I am glad he walked away. Mbappe should be penalized by the club for such action to serve as a deterrent for future behaviors like that, and a player should never be bigger than his manager. I mean, that's just a beautiful way to state things, because no player ever should have more power than the manager. I don't care if you're Lionel Messi, I don't care if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, no player should have more control. And the fact that Real Madrid appointed a new coach, a new manager, like literally 10 minutes after Xabi Alonso had parted ways, it just shows that the club had no respect for him. To finish up Xabi Alonso's career at Real Madrid, he played a total of 34 matches, and out of those 34 matches, he had 24 wins and 6 losses with 4 draws. He was second in the La Liga, he had 4 out of 6 wins in the Champions League, he was a Spanish Super Cup runner-up, and the FIFA Club World Cup semi-finalist. Of all of that, he had a 74% win percentage at Real Madrid, which is honestly not bad at all. And I really feel like Real Madrid should have just kept him and, you know, gave him more time. As we saw with Enzo Maresca and Ruben Amorim, I mean, they had stuff to say about the board of their respective clubs, but I mean, with Xabi Alonso, he just had a bad relationship with the players, and that just forced him to part ways. And even Vinicius Jr. was not listening to Xabi Alonso, and he even threatened not to renew his contract when Xabi Alonso was the manager. But what do you guys think about this situation? Who do you think was in the right? And do you guys think that Xabi Alonso should not have parted ways with Real Madrid? Let me know all down below in the comments. But yeah, those are all of my thoughts, and that's basically everything I had to say about this situation. And if you guys want to hear more about the Barcelona Real Madrid Supercopa final, check out the video that I dropped yesterday. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day. I'll see you guys in the next football video.